All right, ever stop and wonder what you really have in common with, say, the tree outside your window? Today, we're going to go on this incredible journey to uncover the hidden threads that connect you, me, and every other living thing on this planet. We're talking from the absolutely microscopic all the way to the massive.
So, let's just jump right in with a question. What do you actually have in common with a giant redwood tree? Or, a mushroom popping up on the forest floor? I mean, on the surface, you'd think absolutely nothing. But the surprising truth? The connection is, well, it's fundamental. And to find that answer, we've got to go deep, like really deep. We're going to zoom way, way in, past anything you can see with your own eyes, right down to the very chemical ingredients that build, well, everything that's alive.
All right, our first stop on this journey is the molecular level. And here's the crazy part. It doesn't matter how different we all look on the outside. Seriously, from the tiniest bacteria to the biggest blue whale, we're all built from the exact same core set of chemical parts.
And this is where it gets really amazing. All of life's incredible complexity, it's all built from a surprisingly simple chemical palette. You've just got a few key players, mostly carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Think of them like universal Lego bricks. They snap together to make carbohydrates, which give us energy. Then you've got proteins, which do all the building and the heavy lifting. And of course, the most famous of all, nucleic acids. Like DNA, the actual blueprint for life itself. So scientists call these organic molecules, and they are literally the foundation for everything alive. Which brings us back to that first question, right? What do you have in common with a tree and a mushroom? The answer is, you're all built from the exact same molecular toolkit. How cool is that?
Okay, so we have our building blocks. Let's zoom out one level. If those molecules are the bricks and the steel, then the cell is the bustling city that's built from them. And just like any city, it needs a plan. It needs a way to grow and, to make more cities.
So how does this little cellular city grow and keep things going? Well, it's got two really clever strategies. For all the day-to-day stuff, like growth and repairs, it uses something called mitosis. That's basically just making perfect identical copies of itself to keep everything running smoothly. But for the future, for creating the next generation, that's where meiosis comes in. This process is all about mixing things up, shuffling the genetic deck, you could say, to create totally unique combinations. So you've got one process for stability and another that fuels all the diversity and evolution we see. Pretty smart.
All right, time to zoom out again. So we've got our cells. Now, when these cells start teaming up, they form these just breathtakingly complex systems. We're talking about nature's own intricate machinery, and it's all designed to do the most incredible things.
And at the heart of so much of this is this little guy, the chloroplast. Seriously, just think of it as a microscopic solar panel. It's this tiny green engine inside plant cells, and it performs a process that feels like magic. It's called photosynthesis. It grabs energy from sunlight and uses it to whip up food from just water and carbon dioxide. And get this one single process is the ultimate source of energy for pretty much every living thing on Earth. It all starts here.
Okay, so capturing the sun's energy is one thing. That's what plants do. But what about us? How do other organisms, like you and me, get a hold of that energy and use it to keep our own internal machinery running smoothly?
Well, for us, it's basically a four-step journey. It starts when we eat something, let's say an apple that's been storing up that sun's energy. From there, this incredible internal factory of organs just kicks into gear, all working together to digest it and break it down into fuel. Then, that fuel gets absorbed and sent on its way. Transport it through this massive network of blood vessels to make sure that every single one of our trillions of cells gets the energy it needs to do its job.
But, using all that energy creates waste, and getting rid of that waste is absolutely critical. And that's where this amazing structure comes in. This is a nephron. It's the microscopic workhorse of your kidneys, and you have millions of them. You can think of them like a super advanced filtering system for your body. They're constantly cleaning your blood, pulling out the junk, while keeping all the good stuff. This whole process keeps your internal environment perfectly stable. It's a balancing act called homeostasis, and it's what keeps your whole system running without a single hiccup.
Okay, so let's recap. We've gone from molecules to cells to these complex internal systems. So now it's time for our final and biggest zoom out. Let's see how all of these individual organisms, all of us, connect to form this grand, beautiful web of existence.
Remember that solar energy we talked about, the stuff plants capture? Well, it doesn't just stop there, not at all. It starts a journey through the entire ecosystem. So a rabbit eats the plant, and boom, that energy gets transferred. Then a fox eats the rabbit, and the energy moves up the chain again.
This constant flow of energy from one living thing to the next is what weaves together the intricate food webs that connect all of us. But what about the end of the line? What happens when things die? That's where the real unsung heroes of the ecosystem come in, the decomposers. And this quote really says it all. They're basically the planet's ultimate recycling crew. They take all the dead organic stuff and break it down, returning all those vital nutrients back into the soil so that the whole process can start over with the plants. They are what makes the circle of life, well, a circle.
And just like that, we can see the whole incredible picture. It all starts with just a few simple elements. Those elements build molecules. Molecules build cells. The cells team up to form complex systems. And all of those systems connect to create this entire global web of life. And if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. No piece of this puzzle exists on its own. Everything is deeply, fundamentally connected to everything else.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. If we are so completely woven into this intricate web, we share the same building blocks, we depend on the exact same flow of energy, we participate in the very same cycles. If all that is true, then what is our role? What's our responsibility within this incredible web of life?